Hey guys, today's video is a little different. It's about games that are easy to complete and not really a top 10 or listicle, so I hope you enjoy it. And if you like videos like this, let us know in the comments down below. But before we dive in, of course, today's video is sponsored by our guys over at Helix Sleep Mattress. Helix Sleep Mattress offers something equally easy to enjoy. A mattress shipment right to your door that is rolled up in the box for easy to set up with free shipping. You can try out one of their premium mattresses customized to fit your needs for 100 days. And if you don't love it, you can return it for a full refund. But my dudes, I know you're gonna love it. I've been using a Helix Sleep Mattress for well over 6 months now, and it continues to impress me because I have been getting the best sleep of my life. And I know that everyone is not a big dude like me, but that's why Helix has a sleep quiz to figure out your body type, sleep preferences, and make sure that you sleep well. I'm not alone in loving their Helix mattresses, as countless folks have messaged me on Twitter and Instagram about how great their products are in the last several months. So if you want to level up your sleep game, head on over to helixsleep.com/thecompletionist to get up to $200 off your mattress order. Click that link in the box down below, and now let's talk about some easy to platinum games, because as the completionist, I like to do everything possible as quick as possible in a game.
I love seeing everything that the game's creators wanted me to experience. They put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into that game, and I want to see it all. But modern games have gotten so much bigger. It is easy to spend dozens of hours on one game just to get through the regular campaign. While I have enjoyed a ton of these experiences, sometimes you need a break. And during this past year when I was quarantined at home, I got my fix by platinuming games off of the PlayStation Store. Turns out that there is a whole subset of completionists out there whose entire goal is to get as many platinum trophies as quickly and as cheaply as possible. So today, I'm gonna explore that with you guys. Now, some quick notes to be clear. This is not a top 10 list. I'm sure there are cheaper and easier games within the PlayStation catalog. These are just the 10 that I happened to platinum in my free time between the Completionist and New Game Plus games. They're also not ranked in any particular order. The bad is dispersed amongst the good. So just try out the ones you think you'll enjoy. And chances are you've seen videos on a lot of these games, so don't be surprised if you've seen this elsewhere. So here we go. These are 10 cheap and easy to platinum games you can find on the PlayStation Store today. So let's start with the pair of games that got me interested in this idea in the first place. Created by Green Lava Studios in 2016, My Name is Mayo is a mayonnaise jar tapping simulator. You hit the X button to tap on the jar of mayo, and that's it. So what makes My Name is Mayo worth it? Well, in my opinion, this game is pretty hilarious. As the player continues to tap the mayo, they are rewarded with different in-game challenges that reveal fun facts about the world or further random stories and plot lines about this jar of mayo. Although nothing incredibly dramatic happens, the story challenges do result in various costumes for the jar of mayo to wear, like mutton chops or a banana suit. It's all very simple, but it's also oddly satisfying. And this created quite the uproar in 2016. People either loved this game for the humor or hated it because all you did was tap on a jar of mayo. There was no skill needed and no challenge whatsoever. This resulted in review scores ranging from a 1 out of 10 all the way to a perfect 5 out of 5. This controversy made My Name is Mayo sell well enough to justify a sequel. And guess what? My Name is Mayo 2 is even funnier than the original. There were times I genuinely laughed out loud, and that is really hard for a game to pull off for me, let alone a game where I didn't really do anything at all. And look, I'm gonna be honest here, both of these games are only $1. Yes, there is no challenge whatsoever. Yes, each game is about an hour of just hitting the X button, but these games successfully kept my attention for a little over 2 hours total. And there are films that didn't even do that, where I had to pay way more than $1.98. There you go. 1 entry, 2 games down. We're already speeding through this bad boy. Next up, we have the biggest game on this list. And even though it took me around 2 hours to complete, I was grinning the entire time. And full disclosure, my girlfriend Amanda has been begging for me to do a video on this game. So during the pandemic, I decided to take a look at it, and man, oh man, I wish I did something sooner. Donut County was developed by Ben Esposito, most famous for classic indie games like The Unfinished Swan and What Remains of Edith Finch. Donut County feels like a combination of Katamari Damacy and Untitled untitled Goose Game. You control a hole and move it around a level, swallowing up as many things as possible, causing your hole to grow more and more. Once you've swallowed everything, you then move on to the next area. All of the levels are connected by the residents of Donut County telling their stories of what happened to Myra and her best friend BK the raccoon, who is responsible for unleashing these holes. It's very silly, incredibly charming, and makes the whole game feel really cohesive for something so short. So my big tip in terms of completion is to play through the main story and then tackle specific trophies by using the level select at the very end. Overall, Donut County looks great, sounds great, is fun to play, and is really fun to boot. Plus, it's a steal at $3.89. Yes, $3.89 might seem like an odd pricing. That's because the game was on sale from its original price of $12.99. In fact, a lot of these games are on sale, and they're on sale often. That's one of the greatest things about getting some games in digital venues like the PlayStation Store. There are constant sales that get independent developers a lot more attention from the average customer. But if that $12.99 price tag is a deal breaker for you, this isn't your only option to play Donut County. It's also available for mobile devices at about $5, which seems about right. So my recommendation is either play it there or wait for it to go on sale in the PlayStation Store. But either way, you are in for a truly charming experience. I remember back in middle school and high school spending my breaks going into the library and just playing Flash games on Newgrounds. Some of these were incredible and stick with me to this day, like Fancy Pants Adventures. Others seemed like they were just pushed out very quickly and needed a lot more attention. This game is the latter. Tower of Dragon Asia initially grabbed my attention with that title. The word Dragon Asia just sounds epic, doesn't it? Well, this game is anything but. In each level, you fly around an enclosed box Flappy Bird style by tapping X. You need to destroy the other dragons by either landing on their heads or shooting one of your limited fire bursts at them. In order to complete the game, you have to beat every level with all 5 different characters. Even though they are advertised as 5 dragons with unique and different play styles, they all feel exactly the same with the exception of, God, I'm gonna ruin this, so put this name on screen, Mao Luong Xinai. Instead of the button presses, you just move them around with the left joystick. Also, every character looks like they were quickly made in Microsoft Paint. However, I will give credit where credit is due. Each of these dragons have unique and pretty interesting backstories. For example, Luella Tengu was artificially created and wants to know what the world is like beyond her tower's walls. That's pretty deep for a dragon with a duck bill. Beating every level with all 5 characters can take around an hour, maybe an hour and a half. Or you can just be a cheat and beat everything in 5 minutes with a cheat code. No joke, at the main menu, put in the inputs up, down, left, right, circle, X, and you will get access to the debug menu. And from here, you can mark every level completed with every single character. And this will also activate every trophy that the game has to offer. It's that easy. If you're looking for a quick platinum, there is nothing easier than this. But if you want a quick and satisfying experience, you might want to look elsewhere. And not to put the value on a game, but this bad boy is about $4. So it's honestly up to you. Easy platinum? Yeah. A game? Well, again, I leave it up to you. Road Bustle is what happens when you give Frogger the art style of Gang Beasts. You play as a delivery man who dodges traffic in order to make the delivery on time, or at least that's what the game says. Really, you're just running on an endless loop trying not to die. And that's about it. This game is quite possibly the simplest on this list, and you can easily complete it in about 15 to 20 minutes. And at 99 cents, that's okay. That's a platinum. But what if I told you that you could complete it even faster than you realize? Your main goal is to get to 16,000 points, and points are counted as long as your character is moving forward. So instead of dodging traffic and potentially having a run end, just walk over to the bathroom and keep running behind it. Your character will be safe and you will easily rack up the points needed to get that platinum almost instantly. Enjoy. You know how I said that Road Bustle was the simplest game on this list? Well, I lied, because that title actually belongs to Memory Lane. Memory Lane is simply a game of memory, the card game. You Flip a card over and then try to find the matching card. You know, the game that everyone's played at some time in their life. After you match all the cards in one level, you move on to the next more difficult level, which adds a couple more cards. Normally, I would say this game wasn't offensive. It tells you exactly what it is, and the music is pretty chill. This isn't too terrible for a game that's worth $1. Only it's not worth $1, it's worth $4. This may be one of the faster games to complete on this list, but when it comes to the overall experience, I was pretty dissatisfied. I was surprised that in my search for easy games to platinum, how few puzzle games were there on this list. It seems like such an easy fit for the category of cheap indie games, right? Fortunately, I found one that was actually really delightful. Mochi Mochi Boy tells the tale of the titular Mochi Boy. All of your slime friends were captured by the devil, and it's up to you to get to the towers and save all 100 of them. You do this by moving Mochi Boy through each level and covering each square with your Mochi body. This is one of those classic puzzle games that seems simple but gets a lot harder as you go along. The good news is that in order to platinum the game, you don't have to collect all 100 of the slimes. Just get to the 30th level in tower mode and the 3rd level in dungeon mode, and you're done. You'll find the required amount of slimes along the way. That being said, I can see myself coming back to this game. Puzzles are fun, and the art style is super adorable. Each slime has a unique look and feels satisfying to collect. This game is a steal and is totally worth adding to your digital platinum trophy selections. All right, now we're really getting into my wheelhouse, the 2D platformer, quite possibly my favorite genre of all time. So many of these games have thrived in the indie scene because of their simplicity and how it allows for some excellent fine-tuning and finesse in the gameplay, the likes of Shovel Knight and Super Meat Boy. Unfortunately, this is not the case with Foxyland 100% of the way. Foxyland tells the classic 2D platformer story of the main character rescuing their romantic interest from something. You jump on enemies, collect diamonds and cherries, and get to the end of each level until you're done. In order to get the platinum, you only have to get to level 20 of the 36 levels. But even by then, I was pretty bored. There was just nothing in here that separated it from any other platformer, and the controls always felt a little off. For example, there are times I'd jump on an enemy to kill them and I would get hurt instead. Also, I'd get killed by spikes when I wasn't actually touching the spikes. This is made a little bit more disappointing by also being the game I paid the most money for. If this game was on sale like the rest of the others, I probably wouldn't be as upset. Honestly, this game isn't that bad, it just didn't click with me. After all, Foxyland was popular enough to get a sequel. Here's hoping that the devs took it as an opportunity to fine-tune the game instead of just making a bunch more levels of the same exact thing. Now for a game that completely blew my expectations out of the water. Explosion is a Bulletstorm shooter where you play as a tiny skull trying to survive as long as possible. The main gimmick is that while the character and the enemies are all black and white, all of the bullets leave a trail of different colored ink behind them, as well as the enemies when they pass away. You earn the platinum by reaching a certain point total in each of the 3 different game modes. You need to first reach 100,000 points in classic mode, then kill 100 enemies in arena mode, and finally get a single kill in hard mode. Oddly enough, the most difficult part of me was completing classic mode. There are tons of hazards around the level that you will have to avoid, making certain randomized weapons less optimal. These are all made more difficult by the type of weapon you have being randomly selected at the beginning of the level. I really would have liked being able to switch my weapons or at least get an explanation as to what each one does. Some are obvious, but others seem the same or worse than my regular gun. The best advice I can give for completing Explosion is to always eliminate the enemies you can shoot directly at you or move towards you first. Since you earn a score multiplier for how many enemies you kill without getting hit, you're going to want to take out the ones that are more likely to do that. I can genuinely see myself playing this game with friends for hours at home or at a barcade, just trying to beat each other's high score. Explosion is easily one of the most polished games here, and I couldn't recommend it more. Just about everyone who knows me knows that I am a huge fan of Mega Man. The combination of action and platforming has caused the Blue Bomber to capture the hearts of gamers everywhere. So it seems appropriate that one of my favorite games on this video list is a Mega Man homage. Gun Crazy was developed by Ritual Games and published by Radalakia Games. I ruined that name, I'm sure. It tells the story of this lady. She's a police officer and she's taking out the bad guys. And that's all the plot you're gonna get. But let's be real, I'm not really expecting anything deep in terms of a story here. Gun Crazy throws you immediately into the first level where you start running and gunning. Even though there are multiple power-ups and multi-directional shooting, this game is incredibly simple. The platforming is minimal and a lot of the boss patterns are predictable and easy to figure out. But what really sells me here are the graphics. The pixel art in Gun Crazy is really impressive and it's just really fun to look at the cool dystopian setting. That is, when all the bullets and enemies aren't blocking everything. No joke, you can get every single trophy for Gun Crazy in about 10 minutes. But actually completing the whole game can take anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour, depending on how good you are at these types of games. My only tip here is to remember that you have a dash button that makes dodging attacks a lot easier. I love the classic Mega Man gameplay, I love the aesthetic, and I had an absolute blast playing Gun Crazy. And while I did get this game on sale, I definitely think it is worth the full $4.99. Seriously, give this one a look. And there you guys go, 10 easy games to platinum on your PlayStation right now. There were some pleasant surprises and only a few stinkers. Overall, I'm satisfied with the results. In this session, I platinumed 10 different games. It took me 6 hours and 39 minutes, while only costing me $25.30. Not bad, and this honestly was a really fun experiment that I wouldn't mind exploring again in the future. Maybe I can even try platinuming as many games as possible in a set amount of time or budget, or maybe there's a better way that I haven't thought of. Are there other easy platinums that I missed? Let me know in the comments down below, guys. I loved making this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching it. See you all next time.